3. It's page 3. Another failure to claim advance payment. Goma Primary School, Staff House. 19th July 2023, Kusengula Limited, Construction Staff House 364. Well, I'll be short on this. The question is here. This Discover Insurance Company is also appearing on this project. And you're facing the same problem, but here you have recovered, I think, 34,000 kwacha. This Kuzengula Zambia Limited Company is, I think yesterday we were looking at Kabompo, and this Kuzengula company did exactly what they did in KASEMPA. Got advance payment and disappeared. In Kabompo, they even reported him to police. The question is, did you do due diligence at the time of contract award? Because there's always that room to investigate these contractors in terms of such as do they have multiple projects, and what is their financial capacity and so on. Did you do due diligence on Kuzengula? Because he, in Kabompo, he did a similar thing. He got advance and did nothing, showed the works, and now the matter is in police. And he did the same in KASEMPA. Did you have any clue, any hint about the behavior of this contractor?
Council Secretary.
Chair, I would wish to request for the indulgence of my Director Engineering Services.
Director Engineering.
Thank you, Chair. Indeed, through the evaluation process, Chair, that is the evaluation committees, the due diligence was done looking at their financial statements and some of the completion certificates that they had attached at the time of tendering, which was convincing enough to the committee, and eventually they made a recommendation to the procurement committee that the company be awarded. It was only unfortunate that afterwards the turnout of events was them not showing seriousness in executing the project. Chair, I submit.
Honorable Fomitete.
So Kuzengula never finished this project?
No, Chair.
Who finished the project?
The project was retendered, and for this one it was successful after retendering. The contractor who took over was Home Hardware Limited.
Where is that Home Hardware?
Home Hardware is a local contractor.
Here. Do you have that?
Yes, Chair, on appendix.
Because when you go to appendix 3, you only find the finished what? Project. When you make a follow-up, Chair, no, the Kuzengula never did the work. But the project is finished. By whom?
That's Director Engineer.
Yes,
Director
Chair.
Engineering.
We have completion certificates. Let me just confirm the appendix number.
Please do.
Appendix 16.
Let's go to Appendix 16. Okay. Not the Mkema. Is Mkema and
have you found it at appendix 16? Just through your chair.
I'm being
Wait. I will repeat. Always take it what? Easy. Be calm. Because you've taken us to Appendix 16.
It's talking about two different projects.
It's a police post. We are talking of a staff house. So, Director of Works, the ball is in your court. Take it easy. You must be having information by your fingertips. By the way, CS, were you around in 2023 in KASEMPA?
Chair, I reported in October.
Which October?
October 2023.
Oh, okay. So you have the phrase. So give us the right appendix. Appendix 16, that certificate is not there.
Chair, it was an omission. It was not appended. But with your permission, Chair, we can provide it.
Through your chair. Again, CS, are we wrong when we ask these points of clarifications?
Chair, you're not wrong. These are very genuine questions. Maybe...
always be calm. So that we go step by what?
Let's make progress.
We make progress.
Yes. Dr. Mwanza, a different question?
I'm concerned with these contractors that we can call scamming, for lack of better terms. What is counsel? Now that you have information like this contractor, like Kuzengula, he did in the similar thing, similar style in Kabompo. We have the document here. Actually, he was constructing a staff house at a certain primary school, and like here, and they got advance payment, disappeared, and he has a relationship with the Discover Insurance to provide the insurance bond to the clients, and it's difficult to claim. You end up in court. What is the now that you have such kind of information, what type of what is your comment on the on selection of, because this committee, we have looked at the almost in every province there are certain contractors that are problematic. So now that you have this information, what is your way forward?
Where is the Kuzengula this contractor based?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, indeed, I wish to confirm that most contractors that bidded in 2022 and 2023, they were not local contractors. I'm sure our local contractors were still running around to find the legal documents. This Kuzengula is a Lusaka-based contractor. And indeed, as per your observation, Chair, even at a performance review meeting we had at provincial level, it was noted that this Kuzengula had presence in about 5 districts in Northwestern Province. And all of them had a similar report of abandonment of site after payment of advance payment. So learning from this, Chair, for us as KASEMPA, we are going local for all works that we can procure locally, unless our local contractors, like the water drilling, they don't have WAMA, they don't have capacity. But all projects where they qualify, we are going local, and we are trying as much as we can to just build capacity in our local contractors. This is how we manage to navigate and avoid all these things. Because a local contractor where we know their house will be able to follow them and engage them until they complete. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Member for Mfumbwe.
Yes, just a reaction to the response from the CS KASEMPA. That's a point of clarification. You have told the committee that at the province you met when you had some meeting somewhere, and you realized that this Kuzengula had similar behavior in most of the councils in Northwestern Province. Then what was the resolution that you made? Because up to now, they still owe you a lot of money. Why didn't you come up with a resolution where all the councils that were owed by Kuzengula using Discover Insurance, you take it together so that you are able to recover the money? Didn't you think to go that route, or what did you discuss, and then what were your conclusions?
Thank you, Chair. Every contract as the general conditions as indicated in the contract. So on recovering the money, when a contractor is not compliant, or the insurance company, all we can do is just 1, take them to court, 2, report them to the relevant authorities so that they can be blacklisted. In our meeting at the province, where we did the performance review, it was resolved that this particular contractor and another one which had presence in another 3 districts, but not in our district, I've forgotten the name, it was resolved that as through the POJO's office, we report this contractor and just blacklist them in Northwestern Province. And then we take legal action against the contractor jointly with the insurance company. For your own information, Chair, suffice to say, this Discover Insurance Company covered in 2022 and 2023 all the contracts in Northwestern Province. If not 90%, I think above 8 or so. This was our findings at review. Thank you, Chair.
I think you can go further to ensure that any contractor who comes with a bond from Discover Insurance do not accept. I think they are not being fair to it's a cartel, yes. We had that contractor also in the Northern Province. Is it Northern? You remember? Huh? Kashimo. No. It was in the Northern. It was Ovo. It was Ovo, actually, not Kashimo. My apologies. And Ovo. Ovo was all over. And you find even in all these provinces, should you check those contractors who are dominant, they have a problem. So it's good that at the province you did a review and you took that action. Please be alert. The problem could be procurement. Procurement are the ones who are supposed to be alert, and you also, Council, take interest to ensure that when you see anything approved, reject. Legal also take interest. So let me ask also on the boreholes on page 4 as we wind up. Borehole drilling, lot 1, non-functional boreholes. You had contracted Srujala Tech Limited to do 15 boreholes. Out of these 15, 4 boreholes were non-functional. What is the latest on this one? Yeah, page 4.
Yes, don't worry, it's the same, Mishek. So 4 boreholes. What happened? I would love us to, honorable members, we have a long day. I would want us to have 1 or 2 questions. We have a long day. KASEMPA might leave, but we will remain here. Let's be mindful of that. Yes.
Thank you, Chair. On the 15 boreholes under Lot 2, Chair, the contractor did all the boreholes, but 4 out of the 15 boreholes turned out to be deep wells.
Deep
wells?
Not shallow.
No, deep wells, which could not work efficiently with the India Mark II. I will request the indulgence of my Director Engineering. But basically that is what I know. And so there was need for variation to change the mechanism.
Director.
Thank you, Chair. After the actual drilling on site, Chair, the contractor discovered that the depth to which at which the water was found, the India Mark II hand pump could not work. Therefore, he submitted this report through the engineering department to management, requesting that another type of pump had to be used, which is a deep well pump, for them to be able to complete this project well. So this submission, Chair, had to undergo the due processes of approvals, and until this Thank you, Chair.
Okay, now we are ready to go. Yes.
Thank you, Chair. So it was only after the approvals were done to allow the contractor to proceed as such, hence the delay, and eventually at the time of the audit, these boreholes were found to be incomplete. But as the report has been indicated, Chair, the variation was approved and the contractor proceeded. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Kamondo, and then Dr. Mwanza.
I may need your indulgence in case the time I stepped out, maybe this question could have been asked. It's about the non-recovery of failure to recover loans. I don't know.
No, okay. You may bring it up.
Yeah, Chair.
Page
20.
Page 20.
Page 20, you may know that, may wish to know that in terms of loan recovery, KASEMPA Council didn't do very well. Only about 87,165 which was paid, let alone they did what they could do. And then on the action taken, second paragraph, we wish to further report that as of current, a total of 525,659 kwacha has been recovered from the loan beneficiaries of 2022 and 2023 CDF funding, and as of 15th April 2025, in addition, management further reported the matter to the audit committee of the council, and the council resolved that what councillors should help in engaging the beneficiaries and encourage them to repay the loans. When I was going through this loan repayment, I discovered that KASEMPA Council is still not doing very well. And from the analysis report which was given, we have highlighted the problems that were which affected actually non-repayment of these loans by the defaulters. I want to find out whether among these challenges, whether there was some financial interest that was given to the would-be beneficiaries from the inception, and also whether you have come up with other measures apart from asking the councillors to go and encourage the defaulters to pay back. I've seen that you have got a legal counsel here. Did you also think of actually writing demand notices to the individual defaulters, so that maybe that can also increase actually the loan recovery? Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair.
We appreciate that KASEMPA is one of the biggest constituency. We are alive to that fact. But that in its own would not make you officers reach whatever word. You may go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. In terms of financial literacy before disbursement, Chair, that was done. The loan beneficiaries were done. They were oriented by NatSafe Bank. The people that are disbursing.
Where is the planner?
Is here, Chair. Yes, Chair. So we had an orientation which was done, but then looking at the feedback we are getting from our loanees as we interact day to day, we thought that they need more capacity building, and this is why with the devolution we have now brought in the Department of Community Development. So working with our planners, the socio-economic unit and our community development officers, they are doing trainings, adequate trainings and of our in financial literacy by our loanees before disbursement. So we expect things to improve.
But currently, how are things?
Currently for 2025, for 2024, Chair, the picture is still not very good. We just hope that with the current trainings and engagement we are doing, we are going to see positive results. So based on the demand notices, what we did is that we, under the minute we have attached, we engaged all the loanees in an engagement meeting and got their views and feedback on the challenges they are facing. So we resolved that we give them a window period up to September this year, and then failure to compliance now, we can now do the demand notices and even maybe take legal action against them. Chair, that was what was resolved.
The legal actions will be the last part if all things fail.
Sure,
We
Chair.
are dealing with a community that in the first place did not have these monies. So it needs a mind change. It's not easy. You never had a 200,000 kwacha and then you have it. You never had the 100, you have it. In KASEMPA you could be having kaondes and chokwe, and I know these people. So we need a lot to sensitize. Doc, I'm saying I know these people as very good people. Doc, last question.
Yes, last. Page 6. Page 6. KASEMPA.
Page 6.
Yes, KASEMPA sponsored 17 pupils under the secondary boarding school bursary program, whose guardians are salaried civil servants. As a result, amounts totaling to 72,600 were irregularly disbursed to ineligible pupils, making these payments questionable. We've been referred to Appendix 6. Appendix 6. KASEMPA has made the demands.
CS and your team, if you are seeing lines on Dr. Mwanza's face, and please, he is not bleeding.
Yeah,
I know what has happened to him.
Sure. The chair, thank you. Yeah.
You may put your question, sir.
Yes, thank you, Chair. So, the council has made demanding notices to the guardians to pay back the money. The letters are on Appendix 6. When I looked at Appendix 6, the evidence, it shows the guardians, 6 of them are from Ministry of Education, 1 from Ministry of Health, 1 from Ministry of Local Government and Housing, 1 from National Park and Wildlife, and 2 are from non-institutions but civil servants. I give an example, just a sample. This demand, the letter reads as follows: demand for refund amounting to 11,100 kwacha. Mr. Patrick Ondia, following the audit of the KASEMPA Town Council on 31st December by the Auditor General, it was discovered that you, Mr. Patrick Ondia, a salaried civil servant of Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development under Kabompo Town Council, your children, he has 2 children, Ondia Lindiwe and Ondia Chimwemwe, benefited from the CDF. In view of the above, my office is demanding for a refund amounting to 11,100 that was paid to Mukinge Girls Secondary School in respect of the boarding fees for your children. The funds can be deposited in the following bank account. These demand letters, there is no bank account. Where will these people deposit their monies? Second, the auditors found that it was 72,600. When we add all these monies that that you are demanding, it is 71,400. Where is that difference? Then the other one on the same is this letter of demand. It has no. Okay, how far have you gone in terms of recovering these monies? I think others questions can follow.
Yes, I want us to finish, to come to the conclusion.
Yes, in addition to what Dr. Mwanza has asked, I want to ask KASEMPA Council, at what time did you realize, or at no time you realized that you had made an omission and you gave these monies to people that were not supposed to be the beneficiaries? Or did you realize that they were not beneficiaries when you were audited?
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, this came to our attention when we received actually our first management letter. What happened is that the auditors had the PEMIC system. So when they were doing their work, just entering the NRC number, for the guardian, they were able to establish whether this person
is salaried
or not.
Okay.
For that criteria, we couldn't use it because we have no access to that. For us, we just based on
that.
submissions from
Yes.
WDCs
Next.
and recommendations. Next, on the account details, Chair, we attached account details to the letters.
Where is
It's
it?
unfortunate that we did not
Please
attach the copy.
vanish that to the Secretariat.
Sure.
You remember all what we've said, these documents must be presented. Next.
Next, the difference between 72,600 and 71,400. I request the indulgence of my Director Finance.
Director Finance.
Chair, we did the reconciliation, and these are the parents actually that the parents that the peoples that were involved, or the parents that were involved. This is the total, which is 71,000 after
You
the
did the
reconciliation.
reconciliation.
Yes, Chair.
Do you know what the CS did? Hold on, Doc. When you came, you said there is an addendum. So you did the reconciliation. You wanted us just to, had we not gone through? You don't do that. Honorable members, we can go on and on, page to page. Have they made payments?
Chair, they have not made any payments up to now.
Have you made some follow-ups?
Yes, Chair.
You
This time,
see, the hard part of not doing a proper work, their guardians or parents are now put in an awkward situation. For the monies they never budgeted and planned to do what? To refund. They could be having other commitments now. Planner. And those who have devolved onto local authorities. Let's be doing a great, thorough job. They are finding themselves in this situation by default. Let's adhere to what is for us. And the temptations as well. But okay, this one might go private. Here, Lusaka Business Center, from Ited. And maybe through the ministry, we need further guidance. If one is not a biological child, what do we do? Because some of these are nephews and nieces. They may not really be their biological children. In that case, what do we do? There must be a what? A guidance. Otherwise, we may be putting people, innocent people, in problems. We are Africans, we are Zambians, we live with these whom we've put as dependents. Though that word in an African situation is not supposed to be there. We believe in extended. Some are orphans, I guess. Even the biblical Esther had to move with Mordecai, who was not a biological father. I should think we need to look at this. We've come to the end of our interactions with you. Number one, you have a lot of court issues. What is the genesis? A good number of your contractors non-domiciled. Who, in your own words, when issues arise, they are elusive. What else do you want? Why they said local contractors, there is to do what? To trace. Legal. We are grateful to the government and to the commission that now we have legal minds in all these local authorities. Why? A lot of money is now coming to you people. So where there is money, we expect issues. That's how money works anyway. But there are a lot of these court issues in KASEMPA. Yes. Let's go and work on it. It is coming from poor contractual management. Like he indicated, some of the contractors in Nikabompo issues, in KASEMPA issues. No. Let's empower the local. The issues on loans, you've admitted to say things are not okay. Please, it needs a mind set change. It's not easy. We have a syndrome of Kizaboma. Kizaboma means this is for government. We are coming from an era of you can just get money and you just, it's okay as long as it's government money. Yes, it's government money, but it has to do some work. When they repay, there's a chance of, I'm pretty sure, planner, you have a heap of applicants, loan applicants. We are struggling to say how many do we. In some cases, you even now scale down 200, now 100, now 50, just trying to meet the demands. But we need to do a lot in terms of sensitization. The students is where we are coming from. We'll do our final report to Madam Speaker. It will go in the House. Thank you that you came. More so that there is God. Please handle it properly. Council, it's not a laughing matter. We are sitting on wealth, but we are poor. Poor rich. God forbid. We bury ourselves, underneath there is what? God. How do we bury ourselves? Poor. When we reach heaven, and you complain to say, God, I was poor. He just said, but where are you lying? Where your house is, there is what? So, no wonder we want CDF to build more what? Clinics, to build more schools, so that it helps. It is through education that we'll be able to open, we'll be able to see what is obtaining, what is lying underneath KASEMPA. It is through the procurement of the desks. So let's do that. CS, are we together? Are you seeing what I'm saying? Here is a KASEMPA sitting on gold, but all these years we never knew. It's now. Let's build those schools. Let's procure the desks. Let's do things in the right way so that people become enlightened. Then we'll get to know how to utilize what God has potentially given us in KASEMPA. It's not a court. It's an interaction just to make us wake to see proper development for our country. Zambia, for our district, KASEMPA. Muna mkumvwa?
Mwane.
Meaning, are you getting me? The immunity is hereby withdrawn. After this, you can rush for the God. But plan well. There's some income there. The population for KASEMPA has swelled. Mufumbwe, I'm told as well. Go in peace. Traveling misses.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for still being with us on Parliament Television. KASEMPA Town Council, that was led by the Council Secretary. They've just made their submissions to the Committee on Local Government Accounts on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the Constituency Development Fund CDF for the financial year ended 31st December 2023. The Committee on Local Government Accounts is today also expected to receive submissions from Manyinga Town Council, Mushindamo Town Council and Luposonshi Town Council, who are reappearing before this committee. So just now, we stand by for the second witness to appear before the Committee on Local Government Accounts. Keep watching Parliament Television. Good afternoon.
Did you know the current electoral system does not guarantee the fair participation of women, youth and persons with disabilities in Parliament? While Article 45 and 259 of the Constitution promote gender equity, they don't explain how to achieve it. Currently, there are 21 women, 1 youth and no persons with disabilities in the National Assembly. The proposed amendment seeks to change that by reserving specific seats for women, youths and persons with disabilities. This ensures fair representation rather than leaving it to chance or nomination. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Justice, Government of the Republic of Zambia. Did you know the proposed amendments to the Constitution of the Republic of Zambia, Amendment Bill 2025, also seek to revise the rules of filing nominations when a candidate resigns? Imagine candidate A, B and C have all filed their nominations. Just before the election, candidate B withdraws. Under the current law, this triggers fresh nominations, causing potential delays, wastage of resources and disrupting the electoral timeline. This can violate Article 56 of the Constitution, which sets out the time frame for holding elections. The amendment proposes that elections should go ahead with the remaining candidates. This would speed up the process and help avoid unnecessary costs and delays. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Justice, Government of the Republic of Zambia.
Hello and welcome to a very first special edition of a Meet Your Former Member of Parliament. I'm a presenter, Joe Katama, and today we are taking a unique journey into the world of politics and public service of one of the most prominent former Member of Parliament. Now, in each episode, we'll sit down with some of the most influential leaders from our past to gain deeper understanding of the decisions that shaped our community and country. Now, these leaders who once represented us in Parliament bring with them a wealth of experience behind the scenes stories and valuable insights on the issues that truly matter. So grab your seat and get to enjoy the program. Today I'm privileged to speak to Dr. Johnson Vernon Mwanga. Welcome to Meet Your Former Member of Parliament.
Thank you very much, Joe.
All right, Dr. VJ. I don't know why you'd want me to call you throughout the interview as Dr. VJ. All right.
VJ is fine.
Thank you so much. Dr. VJ, can you tell us about yourself?
Well, I was born on the 25th of June, 1944, at Macha Mission Hospital in Choma district of Zambia. My father was Samson Simaguli Kamwanga, and my mother was Rebecca Ngube Mwanga. They were teachers, both of them were teachers, and my father was headmaster of Shungu Upper Primary School in Livingston, which was the only upper primary school for blacks in 1950. And my mother was teaching at Maramba School, which is now called St. Mary's Secondary School. I went to school at Shungu, and then later on I went to school here in Osaka, and then later on I went to Oxford. I did a course in a diploma course in international relations. I also did a youth leadership course at UCLA in the United States of America much before independence. I joined the struggle for independence in 1960, and I was provincial youth secretary for UNIP in Southern Province, then later became regional secretary for Choma Namwala, and then later I was posted after I did my diploma course in international relations at Oxford. I was posted to the British Embassy in Rome, where I served as a second secretary trainee under a man called Douglas Hard. And then after some time, I was sent to the British Consul General's office in Genoa on the western side of Italy. And just before independence, I came back to Zambia, and in October 1964, I was appointed Deputy High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, where I served for a year. Then I was promoted from there to become ambassador to the Soviet Union, as it was then called, now called Russia. I served there until '66, and then I came back and served as permanent secretary in the president's office, and thereafter in '68 I was appointed ambassador to the United Nations, and until '72. In '72 I became editor-in-chief for the Times of Zambia. '73 I was nominated to Parliament and became Minister of Foreign Affairs on that same day. And later on, I served on the UNIP Central Committee. And later, I went back to Parliament in 1991 as a Member of Parliament for Ron constituency in Rwansha, where I served for 2 terms as a Member of Parliament. And I was also Minister of Foreign Affairs, later Minister of Information and Broadcasting Services and Government Chief Whip, later Government Chief Whip until MMD lost power in 2012.
It has been a long journey indeed. Now, Doctor, what really motivated you to become Member of Parliament? Because remember, this program is focusing on former members of Parliament. Yes.
Well, I was eager to join Parliament so that I could make a contribution towards coming up with laws which would be favorable to the people of Zambia, changing colonial laws that we had found on the statute books to make them more relevant to an independent Zambia, and also to save the interests of the people, because for independence was about serving people. It was not about serving self. It was about serving people, and I was eager that I should serve my people. And that is really what motivated me to become a Member of Parliament.
So, can you also share with us some of the defining moments in your political career as well as in Parliament?
One of the defining moments, I guess, in Parliament was to get members of Parliament to understand what their roles were. Each time we had a new Parliament, there was a seminar to educate new members of Parliament about parliamentary etiquette, procedures. They had to understand the standing orders of Parliament, the do's and the don'ts, and the kind of language which they were expected to use while they were members of Parliament. And I think that one of the defining moments was when it was decided that we should work together with the other political parties, particularly after the elections of 2001, which were very close between President Manoasa and President and then UPND President Anderson Mazoka. There was only a margin between them of 2%. President Manoasa in the first election of 2011 had 29% of the vote, and Anderson Mazoka had 27% of the vote. It meant that that was very close. The matter was taken to Parliament. I was then in charge of campaigns in MMD, and I was subpoenaed by Parliament, not by the High Court, to go and answer questions from UPND lawyers about how the election was conducted. And I spent 2 days on the stand in the High Court answering questions, and my answers were very consistent. And in the judgment that followed, the Supreme Court of Appeal ruled that the evidence I had given was credible and it was consistent throughout the 2 days I was on the stand. And UPND lost the petition. But there arose a need for us to work together, because politics is not just about winner takes all. It's about assessing the mood in the country and making sure that you try and work together. And that is why at that time I became National Secretary, for example, of MMD, and I worked very hard to come up with an idea that we must have a forum for inter-party dialogue, so that political parties together can sit down and interact on any issues in private and resolve these issues on behalf of the people. And I sought the assistance of the government of the Netherlands, which was very willing, and to be transparent. I also went to Netherlands together with opposition MPs, so that together we could sit down and agree on what kind of dialogue we wanted. And it was decided then that we should set up a center for inter-party dialogue, which still exists, but which is not being used to the extent that we had expected it to be. During my time, it was being used every 3 months. There was inter-party dialogue. Political parties got together to discuss contentious issues and agree on the way forward. So for me, that was a defining moment, because usually in countries where there has been political conflict, there is no dialogue between the government and the opposition. But I felt that there was need for dialogue. In 1991, MMD won the elections for MUNIP. We won 125 seats in Parliament out of 150. 125 out of 150. And the President Chiluba won by 74%, and KK lost by 24% of the vote. 3 months after winning such an overwhelming election, I went to President Chiluba and said, although we won this election overwhelmingly, we still have to have inter-party dialogue, to listen to what the opposition have to say, because they're not our enemies. We're not their enemies. We are in competition of ideas in terms of how we can serve the people of Zambia. And he agreed. So I called for a meeting for inter-party dialogue, and we had our first meeting. And these meetings continued right through up to the time when MMD left office. And the chairmanship of the Center for Inter-Party Dialogue rotated among the various political parties.
So, Doc, what are some of the challenges that you did face at the time you were serving as a Member of Parliament?
Well, one of the biggest challenges we had is that there seemed to be some misunderstanding as to the role.
Good afternoon. You are still watching Parliament Television. We now take you back to the Committee on Local Government Accounts. And at this time, Manyinga Town Council will be making their submissions to the committee, and this committee is being led by the Council Secretary, Dr. Gift Sakanyi. They will be making their submissions on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, for the financial year ended 31st December 2023. So just now, we take you to the committee. Good afternoon.
With Cap 12 bestowed on you, let's do the introductions, starting with yourselves.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, honorable members. Good afternoon, permanent witnesses. My name is Dr. Gift Sakanyi, the Council Secretary. Good afternoon, Zambia, and the viewers. Chair, allow me, through your powers, to engage the members to introduce themselves. I thank you.
Powers given.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, members, and good afternoon, colleagues. My name is Liki Mwinde, the Director of Finance, Manyinga Town Council.
Next, thank you. DF, you're welcome.
Chair. Good afternoon, members of the Public Accounts Committee and the permanent witnesses. My name is Leford Mwene, Internal Auditor, Manyinga Town Council.
Mr. Mwene, we are Local Government Accounts Committee.
Noted, Chair.
Yes?
Good morning, Chair, or good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon to the honorable members of this committee. Good afternoon to the permanent witnesses. My name is Shala Mshala. I'm the Director Planning at Manyinga Town Council.
We are humbled and you are welcome. Yes. We know that you came in the morning, so okay, sorry.
Chair, good afternoon. Good afternoon, members of Parliament, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Engineer Namiruko, Director Engineering Services for Manyinga Town Council.
Thank you, Engineer. Thank you. Permanent witnesses.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Piri Stephen. I'm the Assistant Director, Solwezi Provincial Audit Office. Thank you.
Next.